Hey Julia, after class tomorrow, I'm gonna buy you 2 Epicurean cookies. And then I'm gonna buy Kayla 4 cookies. And then I'll buy someone else 6 cookies.
That sounds like a sequence. If Kat buys 2 more cookies for every person, then that's an arithmetic sequence where D equals 2.
Oh, so the next person would get 8 cookies. But how many would the 12th person get?
Like Julia said, this is an arithmetic sequence. If Catherine buys Julia 2 cookies and Kayla 4 cookies and someone else 6 cookies, that means she's adding 2 to each person, which makes D equals 2. If the next person is 8 cookies, how many does the 12th person get? To solve this problem, you would use the formula AN equals A1 plus D times N plus 1. You would plug in 12 to AN, and you would get 2 plus 2 times 12 plus 1. 12 plus 1 is 13, times that by 2, you get 26. 2 plus 26 is 28. So that means the 12th person will get 28 cookies. That's a lot of cookies.
Wait, but what if I bought Julia 3 cookies and then Kayla 9 cookies and then the next person 27?
That sounds like a geometric sequence where R equals 3. But how many cookies would the 7th person get?
This is a geometric sequence. If Catherine is giving Julia 3 cookies and Kayla 9 cookies and someone else 27 cookies, that means R equals 3, and she's timesing each person by 3. How many does the 7th person get? To solve this problem, you would use the formula AN equals A1R to the power of n minus 1. You would plug in 7 for AN, and you would get 3 times 3 to the power of 7 minus 1. 7 minus 1 is 6, and 3 to the power of 6 is 729. You times that by 3, and you get 2,187 cookies. What would happen if the sequence was neither geometric or arithmetic? Let's say Julia gets 1/2 of a cookie, and Kayla gets 2/3 of a cookie. Then someone else gets 3/4 of a cookie. How much would the 6th person get? To solve this problem, you would use the formula AN equals N over N plus 1. You would plug in 6 to AN, and you'd get 6 over 6 plus 1. 6 plus 1 is 7, so the answer is 6/7 of a cookie.
That makes so much sense now. I love these videos so much because they remind me of math class.
Why?
You know, Pascal's triangle. It's a triangle that can help you solve binomials, and you can use it to help you find the nth term of expansion.
I don't get it.
Let me explain.
Here are some tips for Pascal's triangle. The first tip is to copy down the numbers in the correct row. Remember, the rows start with 0 and not 1. The second tip is to start with the first term and decrease exponents starting with the exponent in the problem. Let's say we have the problem x plus y to the power of 4. You would start off with x to the 4th and then go all the way down to x to the 0th power. Tip number 3. Start with the second term and increase the exponents starting with 0. So, using the same problem as before, you would start with y to the 0 and then go all the way down to y to the 4th. The last tip is to simplify. And remember, take your time with these problems. They can be a little tricky at times.
I get it, but can we just go back to watching the video?
Come on, don't you want me to explain the origins of Pascal's triangle? It's actually a really
No.
interesting...